I think it's, you know, as a father and someone wants like a film like that for my kids, it was a big reason to want to make this.
Please state your name.
Ryland Grace, I just woke up from a coma.
I'm several light years from my apartment, and I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut yet.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk to you.
I like your blazer. It's cool. It's such a great.
It's from a friend.
I like that color, orange.
I'm drawing in everyone's attention with this color.
It's like the sun.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
You know what? I was watching the movie. I kept thinking that many kids are going to watch it and probably they're gonna want to become like astronauts. I think that's like a common profession you want to be when you're little, you know, like astronaut or scientist. But I wanted to ask you, before or while you were acting, was there a dream job that you had when you were little?
A dream job. No, I think the first cool job I ever had heard of was my uncle became an Elvis impersonator.
Oh.
So like everyone I knew worked at a paper mill, my dad and all the men in my family, and then he decided he was going to be an Elvis impersonator. And I think, yeah, maybe I wanted to do that or something. That seemed like fun.
You kind of did, you know, like
I kind of took that path.
We can see that, you know, like in science, you have a chance to test things. You can do it over and over again. But once the mission starts, you have one shot.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you, was there a moment like that in this movie where you only had one shot to get things right?
You're thinking of Sandra?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, we have two apparently. So in the movie, Sandra Hüller sings this beautiful song to the crew that she has assembled, and she's everybody's boss, and she's sending them to die in outer space to like save the world. But she gets an opportunity to sing this Harry Styles song in order to convey to them that she has a lot of love in her heart for these people. And it came about because we heard Ryan heard her singing in the hallway between takes, and he says, Sandra has a beautiful voice. It's crazy that we're not using it in the movie. So we asked her if she would sing. She said, yes, if I can pick the song. She picked Harry Styles, and then we didn't tell the rest of the actors in the scene that she was gonna come and sing the song. And so when you see them, you know, dropping their jaws at her, at this incredible scene, that's all real. And maybe we did it twice.
We did it once on them, and then we did it on her.
We backed the other way, and it was like, well, that's it, we're done.
Wow.
And the other one I was thinking of was, there's a scene where Ryan and Grace goes out on the hull of the ship to catch a canister that's with a message in it. And we built this entire chunk of the outside of the spaceship. And we had Ryan on wires in a spacesuit, and we had another person on a crane with a canister. He would leap up, and the people on wires would pull him up, and then they would toss the canister and hope that he caught it.
Yeah, and I think we tried it a few times, and we only had time for one more.
Right. We did it like 10 times, and we didn't have any more time. Every time the toss was late, the toss was wide, and we were like, okay, this time we only have time for one more, so even if you don't catch it, just pretend that you did.
Okay.
And then we'll try and fake it.
And he caught it, and that's what's in the movie.
And everyone everyone cheered.
Something that really I really like about the movie is that Grace almost says no to the mission. So I was wondering if there was a time when, for you in your career, saying no was like the safe path or answer, but someone convinced you to say yes, and it turned out to be something that transformed you.
I think maybe Barbie. I don't think my first instinct was to do that movie, but I could see how much like playing with Barbies was doing for my kids, you know, because they were able to act out stuff that was going on in the larger world with their dolls. And so it ended up being like a way to process the world. I think that's what Greta was doing in the script, you know, she was kind of trying to take some of these larger ideas and use dolls to tell the story. And I thought there was such a, like an interesting marriage there that I realized that this is gonna be hard to do. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. Maybe my instinct was to say no, but I thought, you know, it's a good challenge.
And it's actually amazing how you are describing this scene, the crane, you know, the art in it.
Yeah.
So
there's 200 people on set watching
that's crazy. And now that Actually, you mentioned before that you made everything like without CGI or the less possible. Now that AI can solve things like really quickly, give you ideas or create images, why do you think it's important to keep on pushing on doing these things like?
Because AI can't think of an idea. AI cannot, is what you are seeing on screen in this movie is 1,100 human beings' creativity.
Right.
And that, when it is compounded like that, is so impressive. It so makes me cry thinking about it. And it is the compounded, magnified combination of those 1,100 people, and AI is the average.
Ideas that have already
already happened.
Right.
Of the uncompensated work of all of human beings ever.
And this
You
is
can't think of something
people.
original.
And this was a marriage of practical effects work and new visual effects, digital visual effects work, and the marriage between those on both sides was individual human beings coming up with ideas and on their own, and then building on top of each
And
other.
that's what's spectacular. That's what makes you want to go to the movies. That's what you pay for. You want to see human ingenuity, individual expression and personality, right? Because the average of everything, well, that's going to be very common.
Something I really like about this movie is I think that from maybe The Thing and War of Wars and also, recently A Quiet Place, Hollywood has teach us that the aliens and the others are coming to invade, to take stuff.
Yeah.
But Rocky and your character, they collaborate, which is something very beautiful. In a world that seems increasingly afraid of the other and rejecting what is different, what message do you hope the audience takes from this film?
That's sort of part of why I think this film is so special and why I think Andy Weir's work is so special right now, is that he tells these fantastical stories. This is an epic journey. You go to another galaxy, you make an alien friend, you save the stars, but at the same time you're reminded of what we're capable of as human beings. He believes that we make the impossible possible all the time, and that we're capable of so much more than we realize, and that all of these great innovations in human history first started as impossible ideas, and they became real because people worked together to make them happen. I think it's, as a father and someone wants like a film like that for my kids, it was a big reason to want to make this.
Yes, but to pay attention, because when Ryan goes out there, his first instinct is to be nervous, right? And that's okay. But Rocky's nervous too. But what happens is he's listening and imagining and trying to finally figures out that Rocky is blind, that he only sees through sonar, and he slowly gets to understand that Rocky's coming from the same place that he is, and he's just as lonely. And so the better we do at listening to one another, the more insightful we can be.
Right, and they couldn't be more different. They don't speak the same language, they don't have the same culture, they don't even breathe the same air, but they actually have a lot in common, and they can help each other if they can figure out a way to empathize with each other and communicate with each other, then they can solve really difficult problems.
There's a scene where your character builds this dark little room to test, something. Do you have something like that as an actor, like a place or a ritual that you do where you can test your character before the camera starts rolling or before the project goes on?
No, because I think what you want to do, and maybe part of the reason why, for something on this, I wanted to produce this and hire the team to help me, is because you could create an environment that's safe enough. So that's where you're doing your experimenting, and you do it on camera. So you can catch all of these things in real time, and the film feels alive because nothing is really that planned. You're discovering it as the character does.
Oh, that's great. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Have fun on the red carpet.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Todo es increíble.
Todo es increíble.